of the screen, and it will actually separate that object out into the different table formats that make it much easier to read. Let's go ahead and connect my array. And to do that, I'm going to do import my module, run my connection command, and again, I've saved my credentials, so I can just use a quick command like that. And then I'm going to run get-a9vv. Now, by default, in the old mode, it would put out what's called the list. It would show all the parameters and would put out in the list format. And you're going to see that this is very hard to actually digest, because what's happening is I've got hundreds of volumes, maybe even thousands of volumes, all rolling across the screen at once, and each volume has got about 20 parameters. So I can actually make this easier to read. Let's show you what one volume looks like. So for instance, if I put parameters around this guy, or parentheses around this guy, and let's say I want the 45th volume, I can grab one volume, and you can see how many properties exist for that volume. Well, most of these properties are not going to be valuable to the everyday user. So what we've done is we've made it so now, when you type get-a9vv, it will actually put it into a table format, which means that one volume will only be one row. Now again, they roll off screen, but now I've got a lot more information in a single screen full of data. Because if I roll back up to the top, you can see my headers. And again, this array's got thousands of volumes. In fact, let's go ahead and just grab, let's say, 20 volumes. I can do the same trick I did before. And I want to grab volumes 45 through 65. But you can see now they're going to be put into a table format that's very easy to read. So you see I've got the ID, the user CPG, the size. I've got information that can actually give me a valuable insight to how my array works. I can also filter these. In fact, if I can say where my past object dot size MIB is greater than that size, it'll automatically filter my volume list to a much smaller set. Whoop. Let's grab this out of all the volumes. But now it's only giving me bigger volumes. I can do the same thing again. Let's say how many volumes are even 10 times that size. And there's only a few. So you can see I can easily filter data out, but I can put it into a table format, so it's very easy to read. Now I should note that all commands have been added like this. For instance, get-a9host is going to do the exact same thing. I say get host, and there's my table with all my hosts. And you can see I've got my ID, my name, my persona description, my iSCSI fiber channel NVMe paths. So you can see that I put the most valuable information up front, even though I can still get all the information about each individual object. So for instance, this is a record for one individual object. Now this is true for host, it's true for host sets, it's volume sets, it's snapshots, it's alerts, it's events. Everything is now parameterized to give you tables to make it easier to consume this information. And again, I'm going to have other videos that talk about other advances in the toolkit as well. These default formatters are all installed in the 4.2 version of the toolkit.